Batman Brave and the Bold is a cartoon that many people today still like. Having a different tone than the other incarnations of the character, it was, I suppose for some, an easier show to watch compared to things like Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond. That being said, I was never the biggest fan of the show, despite watching almost every episode live, but I still have somewhat of a respect level for it. One of the things that I disliked about the show was that towards the end of its run, the show started to get, well, a little too weird, even for the show standards. And I gotta say, the weirdest episode to date has to be their final episode. So today, I've decided to release a quick little video that isn't really a recap or a review of the entire episode, but more of a showcase of the crazy things that this finale did. And trust me, there are a lot of things.
Coming up next, it's Batman, the Brave and the Bold on Cartoon Network.
So to give you a basic rundown of the plot, let's explain some things. Batmite, which is kind of like an alternate version of Batman that is, well, obsessed with the Bruce Wayne Batman, has grown tired of Brave and the Bold, deeming its formula to be dumb and repetitive. As a result, he uses his infinite amount of powers to create a scheme to make the show so bad that the network will have to cancel the show to make way for a darker one. Only problem is that a character named Ambush Bug, with similar powers to Batmite, who, yes, is in fact from the comics, is also a fan of the show. Ambush Bug wants to make things right and restore Brave and the Bold to its glory days when the show is still normal. So now, while Batman and Aquaman attempt to stop Gorilla Grodd for like the umpteenth time in the show, Ambush Bug tries to get them both to remember who they are and hopes to put things back to normal. Now, what is actually interesting is that both Batmite and Ambush Bug have the ability to break the fourth wall, similar to Deadpool, or I guess just Jordan as well. They're aware that Batman is a fictional character. They're even aware about what the viewers were thinking when the show got announced, and as well as while the show is going. To give some examples of that, throughout the episode, Batmite does things he knows for a fact will get the fans mad, since he's trying to get the show canceled. One of the first things he does is that he gives Batman a wife, as well as a daughter. Batmite even makes a joke on how all the fanboys threw out their televisions at that current moment. Later on in the episode, Gorilla Grodd is attacking Gotham, and that's when something even I hate happens. Batmite uses his powers to force Batman into wearing clothes that usually companies tell the show to write in, only so they can make toys out of them and get money. The one Batman used was a neon-powered Super Street Bat Luge. Another thing Batmite does to ruin the show is he straight up replaces Aquaman's voice, changing it from the great John DiMaggio to Ted McGinley, who is from Married with Children. By now, people are starting to realize this show has really gone downhill. I mean, the scene here basically sums up my experience with watching this show with my dad. It's actually pretty scary how accurate that scene was. Like, I'm pretty sure I had that exact same exchange with my dad, word for word. Anyway, the universe begins to collapse, and Batmite begins to celebrate that the show is ending, and hopefully a darker show will take its place. It's at that moment where Batmite realizes that things really have been changing. I mean, he's using guns, a Scrappy-Doo parody is for whatever reason fighting alongside him, and the buildings are slowly starting to disappear. Batman decides that it's only right to give the viewers one last good episode, and begins to turn the show back into what it was before. Decent. He and Aquaman take down Grodd, Aquaman gets his voice back, and everything begins to turn back to normal. The show was finally restored to its previous self. Unfortunately, the network decided the show isn't worth it anyway and proceeds to cancel it in favor of a darker show. Back at Batmite's house, a trailer for the new Batman show starts to play on Cartoon Network. Batmite begins to get excited, commenting on how they went full CGI this time, only to find out that it wasn't quite what he expected.
Oh, and here comes Batman!
And this time, he's a girl. Yes, it's the all-new Batgirl show.
I find this to be pretty funny actually, because Batman Brave and the Bold did end up getting canceled in favor for a darker Batman show that was also CG called Beware the Batman. It didn't last very long and is probably the most forgettable Batman show, but technically this finale was teasing the show all along, even though obviously that one wasn't based on Batgirl. Batmite seems to be okay with this so-called new Batman show, but that doesn't matter because Ambush Bug tells Batmite that since the show is ending and that he doesn't fit on the new darker show, he would cease to exist along with Brave and the Bold.
There's no room for a silly character like Batmite in a dark show like this. You didn't just end the Brave and the Bold. You ended yourself too. Adios, partner.
No! It can't end this way! It can't! I guess it can. That's all, folks.
Back at the Batcave, Ambush Bug sets up a sort of going away party for the show and invites basically every single character that has ever been on it. And as crazy as the show had been at the time, seeing the show end with a scene like this is both fitting to the show's corny nature, but also kind of refreshing, which is what we'd have to assume is what the writers were going for.
And until we meet again, boys and girls, know that wherever evil lurks, in all its myriad forms, I'll be there with the hammers of justice to fight for decency and defend the innocent. Good night.
So yeah, that was the finale of Batman Brave and the Bold. This really was one of the wildest cartoon finales to date because of how open it was with the fourth wall breaking and the fact that they actually did it in a pretty cool way. And I actually really do like this episode. I'm not the biggest fan of the writers being aware that the show was starting to get stupid though. I mean, in my opinion, you can take that two ways. One, they genuinely tried for the first 2 seasons and by the third one, they just ran out of ideas and basically confessed. Or two, they were aware that the show was getting dumb and didn't really care, so they decided to let people know that they knew the show was stupid. Anyway, that wraps up my little video on the Batman Brave and the Bold finale. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you press the like button and subscribe for more. I'd also like to hear what you guys thought about the finale. Let me know in the comments below. I'm Mr. Nostalgia, and I'm out for now. Peace.